Hi everyone, I'm George, and in today's video we're going to look at 4 grammar myths. A myth is something that a lot of people believe is true, but it isn't actually, as we'll find out in today's video. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's start. Grammar myth number 1. I don't like people that correct my grammar all the time. I think you'll find it's I don't like people who correct my grammar all the time. You should only use who in a relative clause when talking about people, not that. This is a grammar myth. You might have heard that you can only use who in a relative clause when talking about people, but in a defining relative clause, you can also use that. English Grammar in Use has clear explanations about relative clauses, and there are times when you must use who instead of that. For example, you cannot use that in this sentence.
John, who speaks French and Italian, works as a tour guide.
This is because it's a non-defining relative clause, which gives extra, non-essential information about the person being talked about.
You can find the non-essential information between the commas. In this sentence, it's speaks French and Italian. This is non-essential because we can just say, John works as a tour guide, and the meaning of the sentence is still the same. Whereas a defining relative clause gives essential information about the person. For example, everybody who came to the party enjoyed it, or everybody that came to the party enjoyed it. There aren't any commas in this sentence because the information is essential.
In English Grammar in Use, there are exercises for you to do to practice this. Let's have a look at a few of them now.
Is this sentence correct? Sarah's father that used to be in the army now works for a TV company. In this sentence, the fact that Sarah's father used to be in the army isn't needed, so it's non-defining, so only who is possible. Therefore, it's Sarah's father who used to be in the army now works for a TV company.
How about this sentence?
The doctor that examined me couldn't find anything wrong. This sentence is correct. It's not just any doctor we're talking about. It's the doctor that examined me. That extra information is needed, so this is a defining relative clause, and you can use who or that to give the extra information. Grammar myth number 2.
Always ask the customer if they want their receipt. Actually, it should be always ask a customer if he or she wants his or her receipt. You can't use they for a singular person. This is another grammar myth. If you don't know the gender of the person, it's okay to use they for an individual. For example, if you haven't met the person before, so you don't know their gender, or you're talking about somebody in general, it's simpler to say they instead of he or she.
For example, the driver of the car left his or her lights on can become the driver of the car left their lights on. Grammar myth number 3.
Thanks for the invitation to the concert, but that's my mum's birthday and we're having a big party for her. I can't not go to her party, even for free tickets to a great concert. Actually, you should say, I have to go to her party. Never use a double negative. This is another grammar myth. We sometimes use double negatives to say something less directly. For example, I'm not disagreeing with you. Or in the earlier example, I can't not go to a party, it sounds like the speaker doesn't want to disappoint his mother, so he has to go to her party. Here's another example from the Cambridge Dictionary.
The repair costs £50. Oh well, that's not unreasonable.
This softens the meaning of the adjective so that it means it's quite reasonable.
Grammar myth number 4.
How about we sell your guitar to this nice man? I don't care who you sell it to. Actually, it should be I don't care to whom you sell it to. This is our final grammar myth. When it is the object of a verb, you can use who or whom. In fact, you're more likely to hear native speakers use who in conversation. Let's have a look at an excellent example from English Grammar in Use.
George is a person whom I admire very much.
We can also say, I admire him. Therefore, it is acceptable to say, George is a person whom I admire. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. English Grammar in Use is a trusted resource written by authors who are experts in grammar, so you can quickly find accurate explanations and exercises you need to succeed in your English language learning. To find out more, click on the link in the description below and see you in the next video. Bye bye!